Hey everyone. So I want to take a little bit of time to show you around our course on Bright Faith, just to sort of show you how I have organized the course material so that you'll know where to find certain things, how to, proceed through each week's module, and just basically how it's organized so that you understand the layout. Because once you understand the layout, there's really not a lot of surprises. So go ahead and bring this up. All right, so this is our course homepage, and hopefully you have already looked at the announcement here. Every week there will be a new announcement. There'll be a new video, a new intro there, and then a new agenda. So every time you log into the course for the first time each week, you wanna come over here to the announcement first thing. Watch the video, look at the agenda for the week, right? Then you're gonna come into content. This is where we are right now, right? We are under getting started, right? So you have the meet your instructor section. Don't forget that my contact information is here, my email and my personal cell phone. Little course overview, right? Our attendance and weekly deadlines. So hopefully you've already looked at that as well. Don't forget that you will need the information from that video in order to answer the week 1 attendance questions if you have not already done that. And then this is where we are here, how to find your way around. You've got the syllabus and a few other important items. So you've got a PDF version of the syllabus here. A nice little place to come to for a reminder of the late work policies, which are included in the syllabus, but I made a separate place for them so that you didn't have to go back to the syllabus and search for them every time if you had questions. There's also a section here for the different rubrics that I will be using to grade your work throughout the term. You don't have to do anything with these. They're just there for you to view if you'd like to see how you will be graded on each item. And I might add some other things throughout the term under this section. If I do, I will let you know. But for now, that's what we have under that one. And then you also have instruction for using Google Docs. Most every assignment in this course is going to require you to upload some sort of file, whether that be a typed document or like a PowerPoint or slide presentation. And Google Docs is a good way to do that if you don't have Microsoft Office on your device. So most of the videos are about Google Docs and Microsoft Word, how you can maneuver back and forth between those two formats. But the same information will apply if you're using Google Slides instead of PowerPoint, that sort of thing. But it's just got step-by-step instructions if you need those. But where I kind of want to focus right now is on the week 1 module, okay? So when you click on week 1 module, first thing I want to draw your attention to is this part of your screen right here, instructions for week 1, right? You'll see that little introductory paragraph, and then you'll see an agenda for the week. And you'll notice that this agenda is the exact same agenda that was on the welcome announcement, right? So when you get to week 2 module, this agenda will be the exact same one that shows up on the week 2 announcement when you go to the course homepage. So you get the agenda as soon as you log into the course, and you get it as soon as you click on the module for that week. So that's 2 places right away before you even look at anything else. 2 places right away where you can see the lessons and assignments for the week. Okay. You'll also notice that the items listed on the agenda match up exactly with these little sub-tabs here under week 1 module. So you'll notice the first item over here on our agenda is the week 1 attendance quiz. That's the first sub-tab under the week 1 module, week 1 attendance quiz. You'll notice that the next item on the agenda is the syllabus review. Syllabus review is the second item over here under week 1 module. Then we have our lesson, critical thinking, why it's important. That's the third item over here as well. Then we have our homework, right? Week 1 homework assignment. Click on that, and then it all matches up. Syllabus form, assigned readings, week 1 discussion, chapter 1 vocab, week 1 written responses, and week 1 critical thinking issues. that is exactly what's listed here on the agenda as well. So once you kind of see this visual outline of what you need to work through each week, the subtabs over here under week 1 module, they match up exactly, right? So there's no like, well, the agenda says to do this, where do I find it? You find it under week 1 module in the exact order that it's listed on the outline. It's very organized. It matches up exactly. So the first item will always be the attendance quiz. Starting in week 2, the second item will be a review of the previous week, but obviously here in week 1, we don't have anything to review. So you can see week 2 module review of week 1, right? And then after that, it will be the lessons that you need to go through. And it will, the last sub-tab under each module will be the homework items for that week. Now, keep in mind that when you first log in each week, the first time you log in for a week, and you come to the module for that week, you will see the outline over here, but the only thing you're going to see under that week's module is the attendance quiz, because remember, you have to take the attendance quiz first before you have access to the actual lessons and assignments. You can see on the outline what they're going to be, but you can't actually access them until you've taken the attendance quiz. Once you take the attendance quiz and refresh your screen, come back to this week 1 module, then you're going to see all of these things as well, right? It will look just like this. But when you first go to the module for the first time that week, you're only going to see the outline and then the attendance quiz under the week's module, right? But once you take the quiz, refresh your screen, then you're going to see everything. And everything you see over here will match up exactly with what is over here. I do suggest using this outline and using the organization of these tabs over here to guide your progress each week. You want to make sure you go through the lessons first, right? I mean, that's just how school works. You know, you go to class, you learn something, and then you have assignments based on what you learned. This is an online class, but it still functions the exact same way. You will learn something, and then you have assignments on those things, right? So the order in which I have placed the subtabs in each module, that indicates that's the best order to go through all of the items, right? So here in week 1, you obviously have to take the attendance quiz first. That's true every week. Then I want you guys to know what this course is all about. So we go through the syllabus first. Then we have our first lesson that corresponds with our textbook, right? Then you have your homework assignments. The first thing I want you to do is complete the syllabus acknowledgement assignment. Get that out of the way. That's for like the business side of things this week. Then I want you to go to the textbook. I want you to, read the chapter that we covered this week, and I want you to skim the chapters that we'll be covering next week. Then I want you to do the week 1 discussion. And here's actually the one little exception to my rule in terms of going through everything in the order they're listed. You can do the weekly discussion at any point during the week. So like if you log in, you take that week's attendance quiz, you can go and do the discussion right away if that works better for you for some reason, right? But everything else should go in the order that I've listed them. So go through the lessons in the order they're listed, go through the assignments in the order they're listed, right? And even these other assignments, the vocab slides, the written responses, and the critical thinking issue, you might not have to go through them in the exact order, but I think it makes sense to do the vocab first. Make sure that you understand the terminology of the concepts that you've been taught that week. And then, then you get into the more conceptual assignments, the written responses and the critical thinking issues. Just makes more sense. And I've tried to order everything in a way that is most beneficial to you, right? Again, the only exception is the discussion. You can kind of do that whenever throughout the week, right? Another thing to keep in mind, I mentioned this in the attendance and weekly deadlines video where, this is a 4-credit hour class with 8 hours of additional homework each week. So if we were on campus, you would come to class once a week. You would stay in the classroom with me for 4 hours, learning new things, having discussions, maybe working on some assignments or projects or something like that. But we would be there for 4 hours together. Then you would go home. And between then and the time you return the following week, you would have homework assignments. And they would take roughly 8 hours for you to complete. We are required to give you 12 hours of work every week. Again, on campus, 4 of those hours would be in the classroom, the other 8 would be homework. Here in an online class, it's still 12 hours. You just get to decide when you work on everything. But all of the lessons that are under the module, when you first click on it, these are the things that we would do in class together if we were on campus, right? We would discuss the syllabus together and we would go through chapter 1 together. We might do some of these assignments together, like the syllabus form. You'd fill that out in class. The week 1 discussion, it might not be on a discussion forum like we're doing here, but we might discuss that same idea in the classroom together. Your week 1 discussion is, first introduce yourself, and then you're going to answer a question about someone you know or know of who you think exhibits good critical thinking skills. This might be something that we would do in the classroom together. But since it's an online class, you're doing it as homework, right? But everything, from the attendance quiz down to the homework, this is what we would do in the classroom together if we were on campus. These are the things that, for the most part, would be your 8 hours of homework, right? So if you think of it like that, like this is what I would do in the classroom, or, here, like next week, we're going to be covering, chapter 2 and chapter 3. This is what we would be doing in the classroom, right? These are my homework assignments. It helps sort of differentiate what the different parts of the course are each week. These are the lessons, these are the assignments. I need to go through the lessons before I attempt the assignments. That just makes sense. I have to learn the stuff before I can answer questions about the stuff. It's all supposed to take roughly 12 hours. She has organized it in a way where that if I follow the outline, if I follow the agenda, the order she has them listed in, that will probably work best for me. At the very least, go through the lessons in the exact order they're listed in. The assignments, you might be able to play around with the order of those a little bit more, but lessons first, in the correct order, then homework assignment. The only exception is the discussion. Once you've taken the attendance quiz each week, do the discussion whenever you feel like it that week, right? But just kind of knowing how the modules are organized, how it matches up with this outline that's found here on the module tab and on the weekly announcement each week, and how it all relates to everything else a good way. I know a lot of students want to come up here to course tools and go straight to assignments, right? The problem is that discussions don't get listed under assignments. You notice when I clicked on course tools, I had a discussions option, a quizzes option, and an assignments option. You can get to all of your graded items this way, But again, the problem is that they're not all listed in one place. It's discussion, quizzes, assignments. But if you come over to the module, excuse me, your attendance quiz is always the first item listed, so you can get to the quiz this way. Your assignments are all going to be listed under week 1 homework assignments or week 2 homework assignments. So why not come here to get to each one of them so that, you're not missing anything, you're not accidentally forgetting something, right? Another good idea, good practice to get into is using this outline, this part of the outline especially, as a checklist for yourself, right? Did I do the syllabus acknowledgement? Did I do the assigned reading? Did I do week 1 discussion? Did I do the week 1 vocab slide? Did I do the week 1 written responses? Did I do the week 1 critical thinking issue? Right? It gives you a checklist, right? But that is how our course is laid out, and every week will be the same. Same concept. You click on the module tab, you're going to see the agenda on the center part of your screen. Underneath the module tab, you're going to see the attendance quiz for that week and nothing else. But once you take the attendance quiz, then all of the lessons and assignments will show up for you. The order that they're listed in under the module tab will match up exactly to the order that they're on in the outline. And then you go through the lessons and then you complete the assignments. Right? So I try to keep it uniform each week, not a lot of big changes or surprises. It's very structured so that, you know what to expect and you know where to find things each week, right? But if at any point you have questions, you're unsure of what's going on, where to find something, what you're supposed to do, don't hesitate to reach out. Because I know it takes a couple weeks, to sort of get used to it. So please reach out if you have any questions at all. Otherwise, you're free. Go ahead and move on to the next thing.